Heyyo, my little weirdos. So I'm out here, doing my thing, deliveries and stuff, and I think it's time we have a discussion. And I don't mean this as a, you and I, heart to heart, me and you, because I know that you're doing this type of thing, but more of I need to communicate this because I need to know that I'm not necessarily wrong here. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. You can sound off in the comments below. But I just had a delivery where I think the person fundamentally broke the rules or the etiquettes of food delivery. Now again, I will 100% own up if you feel I'm wrong. Or if, anything like that. But hear me out. So, as we know, I do orders and deliveries on the side, just, to get a little bit of extra money, because who doesn't need extra money, right? All good and well. I also completely understand that most people ordering at this time of night, 9, 10, 11, anything like that, outside of the standard scope of dinner time, which I think kind of cuts off around 7 o'clock. After that point, you're kind of getting into the more interesting territory, like I like to call it. And by more interesting territory, I mean people who may or may not be in the sober state of mind. Now, I'd say about 90% of the orders I get from Uber or in general are for people who are not necessarily within the sober mind, which is completely fine. I have no problem with that. You do you, completely fine. I completely understand that. I also completely understand people who are very on top of their orders, oh, hey, I see you're going to the, wrong area or anything like that. I completely understand, because honestly, I'm one of two people. I'm either watching my order like a hawk, or I completely forgot about it, and that, it's unfortunate. Anyway, I think we can all agree, those things are okay. However you order your food, however you watch your food, when you're doing, all good and well. Here's where things get a little more tricky and a little more into that gray area. I personally, and this is why it's kind of a gray area, because I completely understand why people do it. Doesn't mean I like it any better than I do, if we're just being honest. So, since, there was a global sickness, we've had this lovely wave of contactless everything. And oh, do I love not having to interact with people who deliver me my food. I don't have to, I can just go pick up an order. I don't have to go speak to people. Oh, that is the best thing that came out of it. Contactless anything. I love. And for those of you who aren't really delivery food people, or haven't changed your settings or anything just because you didn't know it was a thing, hey, trust me, I get it. Settings on things are confusing. Anyway, in the notes area for your delivery or general profile for deliveries, there's like a leave at the door option or something along those lines. And for me, I sincerely, I think those orders are great. Like, boom, okay, there you go. Enjoy your food. Like, have a great rest of your night. Like, you're satisfied, I'm satisfied. Let's go. What I don't like so much is when people come to the door when it says leave at the door. Again, I completely understand why some people do it. Especially if they're not necessarily in the sober mind. Like I said, since it is like later in the evening, more people are also tired, but they're also maybe not so much in the realm of sobriety, and that is okay. I am not telling you not to be sober. That is your choice. I completely, you do you, okay? Anyway, what I will say is, like I said, I do completely understand people who end up coming to the door when they said leave at the door, because it's like, oh, well, I'll just, like, I'm tracking the order because I want to make sure I don't forget it, like, or whatever. I'll just come grab it from the person and, like, make it easier. Some people don't even know that they have it at leave it at the door. Honestly, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. All good and well. Would I prefer that it didn't happen? Yeah, but that's fine. But that's not the big thing I want to talk about here. I know I kind of made it a big deal, but, like, that's all the backstory. So, I had an order, and I went and I picked it up, and I will admit that part of this is completely my fault. I didn't 100% vet the order, mostly because it was all already bagged up and, like, had the seals and everything. And I don't know about you, but if I got my order and the seals were messed up and stuff, I might have a couple of concerns. So I didn't, like, double check to, like, I didn't go in the person's bag and was, oh, hey, I see you got this and you got this and you got, like, all that stuff. I did not do that because it was all sealed up. But because it was all sealed up and the restaurant verified with me, they were like, oh yeah, you got this and this and this and a drink. They said they said and a drink. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I, like, got in the car, got ready to go. I go to the door of the person, like, to deliver, and it very clearly says leave it at the door. All good and well. I walk up. I'm, like, about to, like, I'm in the process of bending over to put the food down, and the person, like, opens the door, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And they're like, I'm sorry, like, and I'm like, it's okay, like, just wasn't ready, like, you know, I'm like, it's okay. So I go and I hand them the bag, and they're like, where's my drink? And I'm like, your drink? It should be in the bag. They said, like, everything was in there. And they were like, I'm gonna check because, like, nothing on you, like, but they tend to forget. And I was like, okay. So they opened up the bag, and lo and behold, the drink was not in there. And they were like, yeah, no, the drink's not in there. And I was like, I'm sorry for your drink. I'm sorry. And so the individual looked at me and said, well, like, the whole reason I ordered was to get the drink because I'm, like, super thirsty. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry that it's not in there. I didn't realize it wasn't in there. Well, would you go back to the restaurant and get my drink? Huh? Now, I don't think this is that outrageous of a claim. I definitely feel as the driver, I'm kind of entitled to be like, no. I mean, they provided me with the order and confirmed with me that all the pieces of the order were there, so really, like, at this point, like, no, because even if I, like, go back to the restaurant, they will probably, like, decline and be like, oh yeah, we didn't give you the drink, which I'm not saying most restaurants will do that. I'm just, you know, like if I was a worker in a restaurant, I'd be like, how can you confirm that you didn't get the drink, or, like, you know. Anyway, not the point. But this person was like, can you go get the drink? And I was like, I mean, I guess I could go see what I can do for you. Yeah, would you? Like, I'd really appreciate that. Like, I really just ordered for the drink. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, hammering home about it. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So you were thirsty. You was thirsty. Okay. I was like, okay, sure. I proceeded to walk back to my car and chat with support and let them know, like, hey, this store forgot an item, like, and they were like, okay, well, like, thank you for letting us know, like, if the customer complains, it won't reflect badly on you, like, and whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. And like I said, I'm starting to get into my car, and this person starts walking out of their home, like, it follows me to my car. I'm like, what in the world? So I, like, start closing my door. I'm like, no, like, we're not doing this, like, you know. I'm, like, basically, like, throwing my body in the car, because I'm like, okay, like, why are you following me? I don't. And so they walk up to my window, and they're like, hey, just, you know, making sure that it's not in your car, like, that they didn't give it to you and it's in your car. And I was like, for what? Now, again, I completely understand this person's hesitation towards me and everything, because obviously, like, they don't know me. But for what reason do I have to lie about your beverage being in my car? You know what's in my car? Coffee that my girlfriend made, and Nutri-Grain bars, and yogurt pouches. That's it! Oh, and crackers. Sorry, I forgot that. They're over there. I'm like, no, it's not in the car. And they're like, okay. I'm like, do not be inspecting my vehicle this way. It's not in the car. So I go, and I proceed to drive back to the restaurant, because I am who I am. I don't know. And yes, so I do proceed to drive back to the restaurant. All the while, this person calls me no less than 10 times. Because, like, I completed the order so that way, like, I wouldn't get, like, yelled at from the app, like, hey, you're going the wrong way, you're going the wrong way. Like, I knew approximately where the person's home was in conjunction to where that restaurant was. So, like it was all good, like, to proceed to complete the delivery. But the person called me no less than 10 times. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, as I'm driving, so, like, even this, like, it's kind of a lot for me, but, like, I'm not physically touching my phone. I don't like to touch my phone while I'm driving, unless, like, you know, like, I'm changing a song on my phone or something that I know is going to be super quick. I already knew, like, why this person was calling, and so I was like, I understand, like, why they're calling, like, all good, all well. But I was just trying to get to the location and back to them as soon as possible so I could go back about doing orders and, like, taking care of all that stuff. So they keep calling me. I'm like, oh my gosh. So they leave me a voicemail with their phone number. So I wrote it down and I'm like, okay, like, whatever. I got back to the restaurant and went inside and they were, like, kind of busy. So, like, they were like, I'll be right with you. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And then, I don't know how. I could not tell you how. But this person somehow got my actual phone number and proceeded to continue to contact me from their direct phone number. Again, no less than maybe 10 times. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like my phone is being blown up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I know. I'm so sorry that, like, your drink was not in your bag. I'm gonna get you taken care of. I know, I'm sorry. And again, like I said, I completely understand, like the initial, like, oh man, like, that's really disappointing. I've had that happen where things are missing and, oh man, it is so disappointing. Would I ever go to the extent that this person did? No. I could not tell you that I would. No. I would drive myself to the place before I made my driver go there. Like, no. That's just me, though. That's because I'm non-confrontational to the max. Anyway, I'm like, okay, I understand. I am doing everything within my power to get you your beverage. So I, like, texted them and was like, hey, like, I'm at the restaurant right now, like, please just hold on, like, and they're like, this is the customer, like, this is my number for when you bring me my drink back, thank you, like, and then continued to call me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I understand, but now that I've all, like, confirmed, like, please let me have the capability to do this. And so, like I said, I did get to talk with the restaurant and was like, hey, I had this order and the drink wasn't in there. And wouldn't you know it, it was just sitting on the counter, like, that they already had it just sitting on the counter, and they were like, oh, I'm sorry, it looks like we, like, forgot to add it in there. I'm like, it's okay. So they proceeded to hand me a new drink. They did give me a new one. And I took it. I texted the person. I was like, I'm on my way back. Like, and they're like, okay, like, And I like get to their home. I'm like, okay, I'm here. Like, please, like delete my number. Like everything. Just please, like. Anyway, and so I'm like, okay. I texted them like I'm here. I walked up to the door and I brought them like the drink, and they're like, oh wow, you actually brought me the drink back. I really didn't think you were gonna do it. Like, and I was like, well, he's like, they were like, I mean, they normally don't. And I was like, well, like, here you go. And they proceeded to like reach, like, and I was like, okay, here you go. And like, and I was like, and noped right out of that situation. I was like, we're not doing that. And so, am I wrong? Were the rules of delivery etiquette not broken? Was it okay for this individual to follow me to my car, to inspect that I didn't have their beverage, to proceed to numerously call me and text me, and then maybe going for like a hug after? I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So that's the whole conversation I wanted to have. I needed to get it all out. So let me know in the comments below. Am I wrong? Was that not weird? Was that not like not delivery etiquette? Like, I mean, again, you let me know. Sound off in the comments below. If you like hearing these random kind of like story things, give it a thumbs up if you wanna. You can subscribe if you want to. But genuinely, I would love to hear like your guys' thoughts and opinions on that, because it was definitely one of the stranger things I've ever had happen. But yeah, so until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.